Good afternoon, natural shifters. I hope you all are having a great day so far. I'm trying to make sure I don't have anything in my teeth. I just ate lunch. I am excited to share some of my best tips and different things that you can do around getting a healthy glow about your skin. And I wanted to cover the whole body, you know, obviously not just concentrate on your face, but just give you some great tips overall things you can do, because it's not just about, you know, the type of facial care you do or that in specific. A lot of people just think it's just that. It's actually a lot of other different things that go into having great skin, and I'm excited to share some of those with you. So I'm just going to wait just a few minutes and see if anybody else wants to jump on live. I know most people will be watching the recording, and if you are, I'm very glad that you took the time out to learn more about this topic and just kind of learn with me. This is one of my main tips, is drinking water. Fitting, right? It's a gorgeous day outside to get some vitamin D. I know those days will be gone soon with fall coming in. Okay, it's been about a minute, so I'll go ahead and get started. People can catch the replay if they missed anything. Again, thank you for joining me today, and today's topic is getting a healthy glow about your skin. And I wanted to start off with giving you some of the more, you know, broad things that you can do, and then go into focusing on your facial, you know, maybe your complexion, and then maybe the rest of your body. So I did want to give you tips about, you know, more than one different thing other than just your face. So, okay, general principles. I did mention the water. So that is something that is absolutely crucial if you want to have, just be healthy in general, but have a good complexion and have healthy glowing skin. So if you see me, I usually have my, maybe not this one specifically, but you know, I usually have a water bottle with me wherever I go, because it is so important to drink water throughout the day. I recommend people that maybe don't drink hardly any water at all to maybe shoot for doing half your body weight in water. I know a lot of you probably heard of that, and that is a good goal to start with. I typically drink about 3 to 4 liters of water a day, so that's about double. That is actually probably my body weight. I didn't figure it up. I probably should have. But anyway, that is a great thing to start with. It just, you know, if you just wanted to do one thing, if you took one tip away from this video, that's something very easy that you don't have to go out and purchase new products or anything like that. You can just start drinking more water, and that will get, you know, over time, you know, you won't see results just like that, but you'll start to feel better. Your skin will start to clear up, and a lot of things, actually, not just your skin, will probably start to turn around for you. So that's one of my biggest tips, is to drink that much water. Now, I know some people don't like water, and you know, they don't understand how that's basically all I drink is water. But honestly, you know, I think it's whatever your taste buds are accustomed to. So if you're used to drinking more sodas or just things with flavor, maybe you know, maybe you buy those little packets and you put in water and you're used to that. It's really just about retraining your taste buds and kind of resetting your cells to kind of crave something. Because I mean, I honestly want to drink water. I don't really want to drink anything else, because my body craves that and it's used to that. And so I would encourage you to just try to do it slowly. Try to, you know, maybe just replace, cut back on your sodas and just replace them with water, or just try to drink more pure water throughout the day, and just try to gradually cut back on the other things, you know, that could be, actually, you know, those things are not good for us. So it's actually creating some damage within the body. So it's just great to, whenever you can, just try to get as much water. So I love to put some essential oils in my water. They actually help to flavor it, so it doesn't, you know, some people just don't like plain water. So this actually helps to flavor it. And it gives you some additional benefits, such as energy, mood enhancement, gentle detoxification. So my favorites are grapefruit, and I mainly really put that in my water. I like lemon as well, and wild orange. So I kind of rotate between those, so I don't get bored with one. But there are so many different benefits to using essential oils in your water. And I usually fill this bottle of water up about 4 times a day, and I put 2 drops of whatever essential oil I'm using that day in the morning, and then 2 drops in the afternoon. So just in case you were wondering about that, it kind of keeps the flavor a little bit when you refill it. So that's how I usually do it. So water is very important. So the next part is getting healthy fats in your diet. And you know, you might be thinking, you know, a lot of people kind of have the mentality of eating less fat and eating a low-fat diet, but that's actually not good for us. Well, our body needs fats, especially our brain needs fats to function. So, you know, obviously we're going to talk about skin today, but our skin needs those healthy fats to stay, you know, looking youthful and having that glow. And so I recommend, you know, incorporating coconut oil into your diet. It has so many health benefits, but one of those is improved complexion and, you know, just the elasticity of your skin and the nourishment of your skin. Sometimes if it feels dry, it can be due to lack of water or lack of fats in your diet. So different things like that really make a big difference when you're thinking about improving the condition of your skin. Now, there are certain other things that you could eat, such as like things that have omega fats in them, avocados, fish, nuts, things like that. But coconut oil is a very easy way to get some of those beneficial fats in your diet. And, you know, some people like to just kind of replace other things that they're cooking in with coconut oil, like sauteing vegetables or different things like that. It's a very easy swap, and it doesn't have a very strong taste either. So I would recommend trying to get as much coconut oil in your diet, not in excess, of course. Probably a tablespoon or 2 a day is a great place to start. And then obviously a good diet. We can't look over that because that is foundational to anything to do with your health and especially your skin. So trying to get some of those beneficial fats, but also staying away from sugar and processed foods. You know, if you follow us, you know that we harp on this all the time. And it's something that almost seems like a broken record, but you can't, you know, do a video on skin and talk about these things and not mention this, because that's actually so detrimental to our health and our body. It just it's very taxing on our body. So, and you can definitely, usually if you have digestive issues or something going on inside, it usually comes out through your skin. So you will see, you know, more breakouts, or just your skin won't have that certain look to it. It'll just kind of maybe not have as much pigment or redness, you know, to make it look youthful. And that is because our body is actually working so hard to overcome the things that we're eating that it really depletes it of its nutrients and its nourishment that it needs to give it that glow. So that's a whole other video, I'm sure, but I did want to mention that's very important, that your diet, you know, be mainly of whole foods, fruits and vegetables, some grains, and, you know, little meats, things like that, some protein. So moving on to our face. I wanted to kind of share with you my routine. Now, I know that there are so many different things you can do, but I just wanted to kind of share what I found works, and maybe you could take, you know, a few things away from that and really maybe implement even 1 or 2 things, you know, because these are little changes. These are not like a complete overhaul, and it's not to bash anybody of what you're using either. I just like to share what I do, and hopefully you can gain some insight from that. So the first thing that I wanted to mention is that if you are using, you know, if you're not using natural products right now, and you're using something that maybe is more synthetic, you know, start thinking about maybe looking at a plant-based skincare system. That is one of the best things for your skin that you can do, other than your diet and drinking water, is, you know, how are you taking care of your skin? You really need to think about that. So that'd be the first place I would look, would be my skincare system. Now, I choose to use, let me find the Virage skincare system, and this is sold by doTERRA. Sorry you can't see the writing on here. And it is the world's best plant-based skincare system, hands down, in my opinion, and of many of other people's opinions. It has, you know, I won't go into grave detail, but it has some great things to nourish your skin to make it look youthful. It's actually called anti-aging, but any skincare, any age can use it. Any skin, you know, if you have oily skin or dry skin combination, anyone can use this skincare system. It has some great essential oils infused into it. I was going to read some of them. Like, it has, this is the toner. It has cypress and basil, has some witch hazel in it. It has some coriander, so it smells really good too. If you think about all those oils, you know, kind of infusing those into the skincare, it really does smell nice, which is good. But all of those essential oils, you know, play a different part in maintaining healthy skin conditions. So they formulated this in a way that, you know, it really gives your skin everything that it needs to kind of look its best and really help those, you know, whether it be fine lines, wrinkles, dark spots, things like that. It really helps, you know, just kind of overall your complexion to help with that. So the way that I use this is I use most of the skincare system at night. There's never a night that I go to bed without taking whatever makeup I have on, or if I didn't put any makeup on, I'll still use this system. So I use the cleanser first, and I'm almost out. So it's kind of flat, but I use the cleanser first, and I really like this cleanser because it's very light. And you know, some of the cleansers are sort of creamier, and it takes a while to get them off your face. This one is really light, and it kind of foams up, which I like too, and it's very easy to rinse off. Next, I will use the toner, and I didn't use toner before, but it came with this system, so I started using it, and I really like it. It's just very refreshing, and it does help to decrease the size of your pores and different things like that. It helps. Basically, the skincare system is to be used together, so it works, you know, harmoniously that way. And then I actually am out of this, but they make an Immortal serum that comes with this kit, and I'll use that one next. And it has, you know, they sell the Immortal blend of essential oils that has some, I mean, this blend is amazing. It has frankincense and sandalwood, lavender, myrrh, helichrysum, rose, some very just prized oils, some very old beauty oils. You know, they put them all together into one blend, which is great. And that serum has that blend of essential oils in it. And so I'll use that at night. It's a very light serum. It's not very greasy or anything, and it gets absorbed well in your skin. And as you see, I do love it because I've used it all up. I need to reorder it. But that's what I do at night. Now, in the morning, I like to do something a little bit different. I'll do what's called oil cleansing. And some of you may know about this, but if not, I'll go ahead and explain kind of what it is. So I'll take, I do put essential oils in this, but it's actually, you use, you know, coconut oil, or this is jojoba oil. You would use one of those types of oils, and you could add essential oils to that. I like to add frankincense. It's one of the best, you know, ones for complexion. I would either add that, lavender, or geranium. Those are some great oils for your complexion, your face. So I add maybe a teaspoon to a tablespoon of the jojoba oil, a drop of frankincense, and I'll just spread that all over my face. Now, you might be thinking, you know, I have an oily skin. I don't want to rub more oil on my skin. It just kind of sounds counterintuitive. But what's actually it's doing is it's kind of like, I equate it to this. You know, if you have oily hair, you think I need to wash my hair more often. But actually, if you wash your hair less, the natural oils in your scalp will balance over time, and then you won't need to wash your hair as much. That's the same thing with our face. If your face is overproducing oil, you actually just need to balance that oil production, and this helps do that. So it actually cleanses your face of any dirt, debris, makeup. You could even use it to take off your makeup. But you know, then you would just rub the jojoba oil with the essential oil over your face and just take a damp washcloth and wash that off. And I like to do that in the morning because I sort of like to do it on a clean face. It does get some of the dirt off, but it just I just prefer to do that in the morning when I'm in the shower. And I'll wash that off. Now, what I do when I get out of the shower is then I use the Virage moisturizer. And many people will do the system in its entirety at night, but I like to use that moisturizer after I oil cleanse because sometimes it can leave your face a tad bit dry, which does, again, seem counterintuitive, but that's what I've noticed on my face. So I like to use a light moisturizer after that, and then I'll put on whatever makeup I'm going to use, or either just put on the moisturizer itself. Now, before I move on, I did want to mention that I switched to using jojoba oil. I was using the fractionated coconut oil that doTERRA offers, or anywhere that you can get that. But if you have dry skin, you might not want to use the coconut oil because it is slightly drying. But if you have oily skin, you may want to use that because it would kind of counteract that. So I did want to mention that. You can just kind of play around with it and see whichever one that you like. Now, that's my daily routine. That's what I usually do every day. Now, 2 to 3 times a week, I will use the Reveal system. And it's a 2-part system that doTERRA offers. And it's sort of, you know, one is it's called a refining polish that you would put on first. And then you would put on the peptide activator. And what this is going to do is it's going to exfoliate your skin. It's going to increase the collagen turnover in your skin. And it's really going to kind of just, it's almost like using microdermabrasion type thing on your face, but this is just you know, obviously a gel and a polish that you can use. And if you don't have that, or you could use that with this, that would be great too. But I like to use it just to give that extra bit of exfoliation because these other products don't have any of that in there. So this is a nice thing to do 2 or 3 times a week, and it really does leave your skin feeling very soft and clean. So I wanted to mention that. And then one other thing that I do on my face, about once a week, I usually try to make a clay mask. Now this is Indian healing clay. And you can see that this is like a huge thing. This will last me years. But this, you can get this off Amazon very easily. It's called Aztec Secret, I think is the brand. And it's very inexpensive. So to make a clay mask, all you have to do is combine some of the clay. I would start with probably about 3 tablespoons, I believe. And you would just add either water or apple cider vinegar, probably about a tablespoon, or just however thin you want it. Some people like thicker or thinner, so depending on that, just add however much liquid. And then you could also add some essential oils to that. Again, frankincense is a good choice. Lavender is also a good choice. So either one of those. But what this mask does is it actually helps to soften your skin and exfoliate it again. And it also helps to reduce your pore size. So in choosing sort of water or apple cider vinegar, I did want you to let you know kind of what the difference was. So for a more delicate or sensitive skin, you might want to start out with water, because the apple cider vinegar does give it more of that softening and exfoliating component to it. And so it is going to kind of feel more tingly in that sense. And sometimes it may leave your face feeling a little bit red or, you know, kind of tingly, not necessarily itchy, but you know, something like that, just kind of a little bit more harsh on your face. And some people don't want that, so I would definitely say start with water on that one. And you would just mix this up, apply it to your face. Now I love to use an old makeup brush to do this. It just kind of helps you get it on there in an even layer, but you could definitely just use your hands. And if you have more delicate skin, you probably want to only leave it on 5 minutes. But if you know you're used to this and you do this a lot, I usually leave it on about 15 or 20 minutes. And it's going to harden, and then you would just rinse it off, obviously, with a warm washcloth. And you can tell your face, you know, just feels a little bit tighter, and it's definitely softer. So you also might want to put on some moisturizer after that, because it is a little bit dry after that mask. So those are you know, some of the things that I like to do sporadically, not on a daily basis. What I usually do is I'll put this mask on and I'll get in a nice Epsom salt bath with some lavender or something, Serenity, something like that, and read a book, or just kind of have a little bit of downtime. So that's a good time to put on this mask and just kind of soak in the tub and have your own spa experience in your house. Okay, so moving on down the body from our face, I wanted to talk about maybe an unpleasant topic, but it is part of our skin, your underarm area. So some of you might have, you know, maybe wanted to stop using conventional deodorant and just kind of think about using a natural deodorant, but maybe you've heard some bad things like, oh, I don't want to stink, I don't want to have, you know, have perspired everywhere, and I don't be on my clothes. And those are definitely concerns that I once felt, because you know, you'd hear these things about how conventional deodorant is not that great for us. It contains aluminum, and that has been linked to, you know, certain types of breast cancer. So it's definitely a valid concern, and I won't go back to using that. And that was one of the things that really kept me on this path, is I just had in my mind, okay, I'm going to find something that works, because I'm not going back to that. And I think that if you have that in your mind and you kind of know what to expect, it's a much better experience, rather than just getting frustrated and, you know, wanting to change but then just going back to what you were using. So I did want to mention that. But I've used a ton of different things over the past few years, because that's been a few years ago that I decided that I definitely wanted to make the switch. So I wanted to tell you what's working for me. So I swap these two products around depending on, maybe one month I'll use this deodorant that I'm going to speak about, and the next month I'll use this little crystal stone that I'm going to talk about. So first there is, sorry you can't see it, doTERRA's deodorant. So they came out with this, I believe it was last year at convention, and it was something that we were all really excited about because as all of us are probably like-minded that, most of us are that use the essential oils. We had been looking for a great deodorant, and, it had been something that had been coveted for a while. So we were excited about that. This deodorant, they actually were very smart when they made this deodorant because they made it for men and women, and they also did not include baking soda in it. And a lot of natural deodorants do have baking soda, and some people are sensitive to that. So they actually left that out for a reason. I, however, am not sensitive to baking soda. So, and also another thing is this doesn't smell like much. I think it has melaleuca and cedarwood in it, bergamot, things like that. They don't smell, it doesn't smell bad at all, but it's kind of can go both ways because it is for men and women. So what I like to do is I'll add a drop of pure essential oil on here. I like clary sage, or I like bergamot too, or I like geranium. And I'll add some on there, and then I'll also I made a little shaker with some baking soda in there, and I'll shake some baking soda over top of it because I find that baking soda works well for me. So I love to use that, and I feel like that works really well for me. Now you have to understand that when you swap from using regular deodorant to a natural deodorant, there really is no antiperspirant in there. So, that's one thing that, is just going to be different. Sometimes you might feel a little bit of wetness down there, but that's okay. We need to perspire because that is helping our body get out, some of the toxins and different things that we have in our body, and that's actually a good thing. You need, it's good to sweat and get those things out, but obviously you don't want to smell. So a lot of these things are just really to help with the smell. Now, I will say that when our hormones are out of balance or we're not eating as well, what I've noticed is I do have the odor problem more, and I also have I also perspire more. I noticed that when my hormones were not in balance, is I perspired more. And so those are just some tips. That's what I've noticed, and I have heard other people say that. So I wanted to mention that, to look at those two areas if you think you're having a problem with that. The other thing that I use is called a crystal stone, and it's called natural deodorant protection, but what it is it's actually just a little mineral stone. There's several different kinds, but it's just a little stone right here, and it has water in the bottom right here because it has to be wet to work. So I've had one before that I actually had to put under the faucet just to wet it a little bit, and then you just rub it under your arms. But what it does is it leaves you with a little physical barrier almost of the minerals, and that's what helps protect against the odor. So like I said, this has no antiperspirant. It's just for the protection against the odor. So I like to use both. I feel like they both work really well for this, and I don't have near as many problems as I used to. So that's just to say, keep trying, keep experimenting. Some people like to use just pure essential oils under their arms. A great one for that is Immortal Blend, and I know this one is a pricier oil, so there's a lot of other ones you can use. I just wanted to mention this one. Sometimes I just like to put a little bit right here on my hand, and then you just rub it, under your arm, and that provides some great protection as well. So there's a lot of different options, but I did want to mention that. I know that's not a very fun topic, but it is something that, is needed to discuss. Okay, so overall body, getting that healthy skin. So it is very important to moisturize our skin, obviously, if it's dry, or just to kind of condition it. So I wanted to mention, first of all, this lotion. doTERRA makes this. It's an unscented lotion. It says unscented for use with essential oils. So you can leave it unscented if you don't want any scent, but of course, we want it to smell good. So, you can just open this up, and it's a perfect size right here to fill it and drop the essential oils in here. So, it smells so good. I just opened it and I can smell it immediately. I put Douglas fir and grapefruit in mine because I think that smells wonderful, but You can put anything from Citrus Bliss to Serenity, Balance, you know, and it smells good. Obviously, we want the smelling benefits of our Smell Good lotion, but it also provides us the benefits that we get from the different essential oils. So it's a great way to get another dose of those oils, but also to moisturize and condition our skin. Now, I like to use this one during the winter, and I will actually change up my skincare regime from the winter to the summer. Obviously, we don't need as many, you know, the thicker, creamier products in the summer, but we do need more of that in the winter. And I'll go back to share one more thing about the facial care in the winter. I forgot about that. But so that's what I use in the summer. And in the winter, I will make up a DIY lotion. It's really more of a body butter. It's very thick. It has some essential oils in it. It also has shea butter and beeswax and coconut oil. So it's very, you know, it's very moisturizing to the skin. I don't need that much moisturizing benefits in the summer, but I definitely do in the winter because my hands get really dry, and you know, your skin just is drier in the winter. So I like to use that all over my body in the winter. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Let's see. I wanted to mention, while we were talking about skin, a dry brush. So some of you may have heard of this, or you might even do it yourself. But you know, this was something that I've implemented probably within the last, I guess, 3 or 4 months, and I don't do it every day. It's fine to do it every day, but they say it's just as beneficial to do it about 3 to 4 times a week. So I honestly just do it when I can remember. It's sitting right there beside my sink and everything. So either before you get in the shower, after you get out of the shower, before you put on lotion, you'd want to do this. And I usually like to add an essential oil. DDR Prime is a good choice. You could add, you know, frankincense, lavender, really anything that's good for your skin and condition. So what you would do would be put the essential oil in here, or not if you didn't have it, and you would just do strokes in circular motions all over your skin. I was trying to show you in the direction towards your heart. So I would just move up my arm this way and continue on, as you know, I'd do my arms and legs, stomach, and whatever I can get on my back. And what this does is it's kind of a, you know, it's a coarser fibers on this brush, and it helps stimulate the lymphatic system to, you know, circulate better within your body. And what that's going to do is that's going to help your immune system. That's going to help your detoxification system within your body work a little bit better. So that's also good for our skin. It's good for cellulite. You better believe I'm rubbing the back of my legs with that, because we all have that problem. Come on, what girl doesn't have a little bit of cellulite? So this is great for that too. So I did want to mention that as well. Okay, let me go back and talk about some of the things I like to maybe implement more in the winter. There is a great, this is a different line. I don't know what it's actually called. This was one of the first lines, skincare lines for your face that doTERRA came out with. So they still have this one plus the Virage, and they have one for this acne prone skin. So they have different skincare systems. I like to use this one sometimes during the winter. It's very moisturizing. It's a lot thicker than the Virage one, the Virage Skin Cleanser. And this one has Melaleuca and peppermint in it. So it's a very like tingly effect. And with the Melaleuca, it is good for somebody who might break out a little bit more. That's great for acne. And my husband actually uses this one all the time. He really likes this one a lot. So I just wanted to mention that. And then during the winter, I will use this hydrating cream. It's actually empty, so I need to get some more of that. But I use this one during the winter in place of the Virage moisturizer. Because it's really thick and creamy, and it's not greasy at all though. You know, I don't like to put anything really greasy on my face to leave on there unless I'm going to wash it off. But this one has some great oils in it as well. It has lavender and jasmine, geranium, and frankincense. So it smells really wonderful too. So I wanted to mention that. I still use use that hydrating cream a good bit. So that is about all that I was going to present to you today. I hope that this maybe will help you, you know, change a few things around in your skincare routine, or just, you know, add a few things here or there. These are just tips that I use to kind of just, you know, and I probably should have said this at the first of the video. A lot of people do ask me what I do to my skin. But I'll be honest, I've never had terrible skin, but my skin does look better than it ever has. And I really believe that's because of my diet, because how much water I drink, and it also has a lot to do with my skincare regime that I use, you know, morning and night. So I didn't want to be, you know, misleading at all. I've had bumps come up here and there, but I've never had really acne-prone skin. So I did want to mention that. But I have seen a lot of people's skin completely turn around from using this. So I did want to mention that. So I don't think there's that many people on live, but if you guys have any questions, just type them in the comment box. If you're watching the recording and you have a question or comment, please just leave it there and we'll definitely get back to you. I'd love to hear what anybody else does for their skincare routine every day. I'm always looking to add or take away or, you know, kind of tweak different things that I'm doing. So I love to hear what you are doing as well. So I hope you guys enjoy this information. We're bringing different topics every week. So if you have one that you want to know more about, you know, me and my sister are going to flip-flop with doing those. So we will definitely cover and try to help you with anything that you might have a question about or just want to know more about. So I hope you guys have a great Monday, and we'll see you next time. Bye.